I was not much of a reader.
Not much of a reader.
I would fall
can tell.
asleep. My mom would wake up and I'd be like, have the book on my face, and I'd be like, yeah.
Well, at least you fell asleep to it.
Yeah, right? Well, the reason I ask is because we are joined by Courtney Hanson, a self-published author of the children's book, My Dad Hung the Moon. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you explain? So we have two books here.
We do. So this is the one that my dad wrote back in 2004. It's Robert David Clark, Flowers of the Dimbaugh Forest, and it's a novel. And he's a Vietnam veteran. Okay. He's also battling 2 stage 4 cancers. That's where my book comes in. My book was actually, my dad gave me the title to the book when I was accompanying him to chemo. And he said, we were having lunch, and he said, Courtney, you think I hung the moon? I'm like, but you did. And so 2 days later, a cardinal came to my bird feeder, because I live out in the country of Hanska, and it gave me the inspiration to write this book. Now, over Easter break, I had an eagle in my tree on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. And I was like, okay, there's my sign right there. I can go big or go home, right? And so when life gives you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. So that's what I did with this story. And one of my favorite quotes in this book is, my dad always told me, when things get hard, keep plugging away. And that always stuck with me. And my dad read me stories when I was little. And then watching him write his book when I was little, and the determination, which gave me, I'm like, you can't give up. And when you feel like you want to quit, remember why you started in the first place. And same with cancer, you gotta fight, and you gotta fight hard until you can't fight no more. And that's what I seen with my father, like watching him fight every single day, and watching him get up every single day and go to work for 40 years, and inspiring people around the community, because he worked at the Mankato phone company for 40 years. Yeah. And I grew up in Mankato. I graduated from East High School. Now I live in Hanska. I've been there for about 10 years, and then I've done 3 book readings. One was at the Hanska Library, and then also the New Ulm Public Library, and then the Taylor North Mankato Library. And I've had the Free Press write an article about me at the Hanska Herald and the New Ulm Journal. And I've also have my book in I have 3 books, 2 in the Jefferson Public Library, or School Library in New Ulm, and then also the one at the middle school as well. So so the kids can read it as well. And I'm also a paraprofessional for the New Ulm School District. So with that, the kids just think it's very inspiring, like, oh, Courtney, you wrote a book. I said I did. And they said, well, who helped you? And I'm like, I did this. This is me. This is me being a self-published author, and I get to watch it go to different places, and I get to watch it from different people. You know, like, I get to see the tears. I get to see the heartfelt stories that come with it, and they're like, boy, I really needed that. And I said, I'm really glad I could help you with it. So it's all about how you want to take on it, is what it is. And so my heart just poured out into it, and I'm like, you get feedback, and you either get like positive or you get negative. But I've also done a couple of TikTok videos and some YouTube videos talking about my book. But everybody's like, well, how come you don't want? And I'm like, well, if you want to read it for free, you can get it from the New Ulm Library, or from Hanska Library, or Taylor Library, you know. But if you want to help support a local author, I'm selling my books on Etsy is what I'm doing. So I'm not really focusing on Amazon right now at this point. Etsy is more, because this is more of a heartfelt, and it's like more of a homemade, and it came from the heart, and that's kind of what Etsy is like more of a heartfelt place. And so that's what I felt like Etsy would be a good place for my book instead of on Amazon, because I was reading about that and I was like, I don't think that's for me right now. So I'm like, this is what I want to do. So yeah, so I have it on Etsy, and it's for sale for $30. Now that includes the shipping, but then if I deliver it to you, it's $25 for the hardcover. And I ordered them out of New Jersey is where I get them from.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So if people wanted to order it, they just go to Etsy and they search up My Dad Hung the Moon?
Yep, or Courtney Hanson.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Well, thank you so much. It sounds very inspirational, and I think we might have to read it after the show today. So wonderful. Thank you very much, Courtney.
Instead of coming